Hi everybody, I'm Hunter deButts. I've again come in to talk to you a little bit more about health. Over the last several days, I've talked about balance in the body, keeping your balance of your body in a pH balance, properly hydrated, eliminate oxidative stress and prevent it. That also prevents inflammation. Today, I'm going to show you a little bit more about what I've been talking about and how important it is to watch what you're drinking. You know, eating is one thing, but you've got to watch what you're drinking as well. So I'm going to do a little test. First off, we talked about oxidative stress. Oxidative stress are when oxidants that we take into our body overwhelm our own body's antioxidants. Once that happens, we go into oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is caused by a lot of other things. It can be helped by exertion, exercise, a lot of physical training, mental stress, worry, but primarily, mostly everything we eat and drink is oxidative. And if we don't turn around and change this a little bit, oxidation is going to it just eats our body from the inside out, because oxidative stress creates free radicals. Free radicals destroy cells and create inflammation. Inflammation, along with acidity, is a primary cause for nearly every chronic illness we experience today. That's cancer, diabetes, autoimmune like Lyme, what got me into this thing in the first place. Fibromyalgia, lupus, MS, gut diseases, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Neurological, your Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia. Inflammation is a primary cause of all of these. So what we want to do is work first to keep the oxidative stress out of our system. Now, I'm going to show you something. This little device here is called an ORP meter, and I don't think you're going to be able to read the numbers, but I'll try to do my best. An ORP meter is a millivolt meter with liquids. It'll tell you whether that liquid has a positive charge or a negative charge. If it's got a positive charge, it's oxidative. We don't want too much of that stuff. If it's got a negative charge, it's antioxidant. We want all we can get, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down the list right here. First thing I'm going to check is our Sprite. Now, I use Sprite because in another test, I want to test the pH, and I need a clear colored liquid. But Sprite, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, Mountain Dew, all of them are about the same. Mountain Dew might be just a little bit worse than the rest of them. What we're going to look at with this little meter is, are they oxidative or are they antioxidant? Now, first, let's stick it in. Can we see that number? Stick it in the Sprite. Sprite looks like we got about a plus 450. That's oxidative. That's very oxidative. All right? Clean it off a little bit. Propel. Is that Propel? Propel, one of our sports drinks. That one's going to be about 320, 25, 330. That's still oxidative. Not quite as bad as our Sprite over here, but it's pretty oxidative. Now this one is Sanavai or Sana something or another. It's a USDA organic. It's got the USDA seal of approval. Sparkling spring water, lime. Let's see what old sparkling spring water's got. Sparkling spring water, 456. 456. Now, is this something you want to be putting in your body? I don't think so. All right, let's go in here to Avitia. Avitia is a caffeine added water. kind of gives you the giddy up and go type thing. All right, Avitia, 408, 408, 408. Very, very, very oxidative. Again, do we want to be drinking that? Don't think so. All right, let's go to Smart Water. Smart Water, I talked to the lady at the store today. She said, oh, that's all I drink anymore. Smart Water Plus, 442. 442. That's oxidative. You know, you put a nail in this stuff, and it's going to rust pretty quick. It's going to rust almost as fast in Smart Water as it does if you drop a nail in a Sprite. And you know what that's going to do to it. All right, our tap water. Now, let's go to Fiji first. Fiji, we know that's good. That comes from Fiji. Oh, wow. This one's been in this bottle for a long, long time. And the reason I know that is because the oxidation level is off the chart. This one's going over 500, folks. Fiji. Fiji is, no, not quite. 465, 470. That's Fiji. Fiji is as oxidative as this. Now, I'll tell you something about Fiji. Fiji coming out of the ground was probably pretty good water. I don't have any reason to doubt that whatsoever. However, these bottles are manufactured in China. They put them in the bottle, they put it in the hold of a ship. It's, I don't know how long it's in the ship, month, more, with temperature fluctuations up and down. Coming out of Fiji, I mean, that's the tropics, so you know it's going to be hot. Then it comes to the United States, it sits in a warehouse. This thing, from the time they bottle it in Fiji, could be 2 years before it gets on the grocery shelf. What's in these plastics that's leaching into the water? That's what I would worry about. Now, I put this in a glass. This is our regular tap water here in Northern Virginia. Folks, this one's going to shock you. This one's going to absolutely shock you. I don't know what they put in this water. I know the treatment plant is on the outside of Leesburg. I know the water treatment plant draws the water out of the Potomac River. I know that's chemicals. It's got to be in the Potomac because upstream you've got the Potomac going up into West Virginia. If you go south, you've got the Shenandoah that joins the Potomac at Harper's Ferry. So you've got all of those agricultural chemicals and whatnot coming into the water off the Shenandoah. And then it comes here. I know they put a lot of chlorine in it because you can smell it. Actually, you can smell it as stronger than a swimming pool. Now, here's our Leesburg tap water. Let me get over here where I can hold this thing steady. My little ORP meters, I don't know what's happening to it, but the little baby's halfway broken. Okay, 570 and climbing, 580, 583, and it's still climbing. 583, folks, 583. It's more oxidative than all of these drinks. Absolutely more oxidative. Up, it's gone over 600. Gone over 600. That means Coca-Cola is at least 50, tap water here is at least 50% more oxidative than Sprite. And we know what that stuff does to you. Now, I want to show you something. This is Enagic's Kangen water. It's a medical term for this water is electrolyzed reduced water. What we want to do is we want to remove the oxidants from our body. We want to remove those free radicals. We want to remove inflammation. We want to remove all of that stuff. And the only way we can do that is by eating a whole lot of fruits and vegetables. Actually, with the water and everything else we hear, you can't eat that much. But you can drink this water. This is Kangen water, or it's electrolyzed reduced water, depending on the Kangen water is just our trade name. The electrolyzed reduced water is the medical name for this stuff. Now, if you look at that, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but this thing is a minus 789, 92, 94, 95, minus 795. 795. Folks, that is as antioxidant as you can get. Now, what makes this water antioxidant is as the water goes through a machine, and I'll show you that in a little bit, as it goes through that machine charges the hydrogen in the water, creates a hydrogen particle. As some people call it hydrogen gas. I know I can run the water here from the machine, run it slowly, and hold a cigarette lighter under it or a match, and it's going to snap, crackle, and pop like Rice Krispies. That's that hydrogen gas, little bitty explosions. Hydrogen gas has a negative charge. All of these things have a positive charge. That negative charge is an antioxidant. Not only is it an antioxidant molecule, they also have what's called free electrons. We got free radicals that go around and, they're stealing electrons off of our cells and atoms in our body, and get enough of them, it destroys them. Well, these things are free electrons. They go around and they attach themselves to that free radical, and it satisfies it, neutralizes it. That free radical no longer bothers anybody, and it does not start that chain reaction. When you're drinking these kind of things, they're producing a lot of free radicals, and those free radicals are going into the body. They start damaging the cells, but when you pull one off of one cell, that cell becomes a free radical. It's going to try to find another one, and then you start this massive, massive, massive chain reaction. And we start to kill our body from the inside out. Seriously, kill our body from the inside out. That's why later on in life, we start dealing with a lot of diseases. Cancer. I tell you, nowadays, cancer is hitting people younger because of all the chemicals we have in our food and water. Honestly believe that, but it's still something that's considered a little bit age related. I can tell you what happens as we get older, our body just becomes more and more and more out of balance. We don't have to become out of balance. We can keep our body in balance. When we keep our body in balance, it fights for you. Now, second thing we're going to look at is acidity. The pH level of our body needs to be about 7.2 because our blood is 7.36, what is it? 7.365. If that starts to lower a little bit, our body automatically buffers our blood with calcium, magnesium, potassium, other alkaline minerals to get that alkaline pH level back up. Because if you don't, your pH level drops down to around 3, 2.5. You're in serious, serious, serious trouble. Serious trouble. It pulls constantly, pulling alkalinity out of our blood, our bones, our muscles, our hair, our skin. And if we're not replacing that on a daily basis, not once a week, folks, on a daily basis, our body is slowly but surely going to become more and more acidic. As it does, it's also going to become more and more inflamed. The combination of the two are absolutely deadly. According to Thomas Rao, Dr. Thomas Rao, Dr. Corinne Allen, and a lot of other doctors I've talked to, they have said the root cause of all chronic illness is dehydration, acidity, and inflammation. If you can remove those three elements from the body, our body then has that ability to protect itself. There's no reason why we need or have to go out of balance. There's no reason that we need to compromise our immune systems, but we do. Now, I'm going to show you this little acid test. This thing here, I'm going to put a few drops in every one of these. Oh, Fiji, tap water. Fiji and tap are about the same. All right, let me go through these real quick. All right, I've got a little pH chart here. If you see the colors, green is going to be neutral. So these two, tap water has got to be neutral. It's got to be 7 to 7.5 according to government regulation or EPA standards. They do that so it doesn't deteriorate the pipes too fast. Fiji water, coming out of the well, that's about a 7, 7.2, 7.3. Get into our smart water. Where is that smart water on this chart? It's down here. It's down here in the very, very acidic range. Very, very acidic. I mean, it's almost, shoot, it's almost orange. It's yellow. Here's your Avitia. Avitia also very, very, very acidic. Very acidic. Another one. This lime sparkling spring water. Where's that one fall? I mean, turn this over. You probably see it better. There you go. Propel. Again, look at that. Where's it falling? Back over here on the lower end. I know where this one's going to fall. Look at this. Here's our Sprite. Extraordinarily, extraordinarily acidic. Extraordinarily acidic. Now we come back to our Kangen water. Let's put a few drops in that one and see what we get. Whoop. Okay. I got a whole picture of this Kangen water right here. Let me put some drops in there. This is for a reason. For a very good reason. You're going to see that. All right. Now, there's our Kangen water. Our Kangen water comes out. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Extraordinarily alkaline. The water that I pulled into this thing has got a pH level of approximately 9.5, maybe a little bit higher. But look at that. Okay? That's alkalinity. And this is a charged alkalinity. It's not a mineral added alkalinity. This machine adds absolutely nothing to the water. It cleans it. I'll show you that in a second. It does clean it. So one thing I want to show you is a little bit about the power of this water. Now, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about the powers of these waters. Now, if I put just a little bit of that in the tap water, look at there. It turns blue, then turns purple. Same thing with the Fiji water. I bet it doesn't do it with smart water. Oh, yep, it does. Smart water, it turns that as well. Avitia. That's our caffeine water. We can turn that. This stuff is strong, folks. This stuff is strong, you know. Our lime, sparkling lime, okay? It's not going to phase it. Sparkling, what is this one? Propel. We're not going to phase it. The last one is Sprite. We're not going to phase it. We're not going to phase it. That's how acidic these waters are. All right, if they're that acidic here, what are we doing to our body? We're sure making it difficult for our body to balance the pH. Now, if I take a little bit of this Sprite, I'm going to put this in here. See that picture? Actually, it's a flower vase. I couldn't find my picture. All right? But anyway, I'm going to put a little bit of this Sprite in that flower vase. And if you look, I did not put very much in there. But look what it's doing to it. From the bottom up. Look at that. See what we got. Folks, I've just with just a very, very small amount, might have been a quarter of a cup, if that. I just turned this entire vase of 9.5 water acidic. The entire vase. And I can do the same thing with this one. It's going to make it even more yellow. This one is going to make it even more yellow. Using 1 glass of Sprite, it takes 32 glasses of 9.5 water, 32 of them to neutralize the acid of 1 glass. So the next time you go into the store and buy, you know, Gatorade does the same thing. All of these sports drinks, just like Propel, does the same thing. They say they've got electrolytes. It's got to have a positive pH to have electrolytes. This has no electrolytes. It's got sugar. And in a lot of cases, it doesn't even have sugar. It's got high fructose corn syrup. Okay? I'm going to clean up a little bit of this right here to get it, just get it out of the way. Show you a couple more little things. Okay. Pull these off to the side. All right, pull my tap water here. This one can go off to the side. All right, got my tap water. I've got this one in here. That machine produces two other types of water, three other types of water from drinking water. It produces a very, very strong acidic water. Actually, it produces hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid has 10 times the disinfectant, germ-killing power of chlorine. This stuff is strong enough that it'll sterilize surgical equipment. However, if your child comes home with pink eye, you can mist this in his eye with absolutely no discomfort whatsoever, and within a matter of hours, that pink eye is dead. It's a great wound care. The 2.5 water is a great wound care. It is a natural blood clotting agent, as well as a disinfectant to kill the bacteria that will cause infection. So that's pretty good. There's no way for me to demonstrate that today, but other than tell you about it. But what I'm going to do here, it also produces an 11.5 pH water. Now, I drink 9.5. Sometimes when I give people water and they're sick, I start them out on about 8.5. The reason being is the molecule clusters in this water is so small, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute, that I have to start them out on something with a lower pH because I don't want to detox them too fast. That detox sometimes can be uncomfortable. Now, the 11.5 water is something different. This stuff has an incredible cleaning capability. It will pull blood or wine or anything. You spill wine on the carpet, take a real wet sponge, dab it, go away, let it dry. When it comes back, that wine or that blood or whatever's in the carpet is going to be gone. Just simple as that. I mean, it's incredible. It's it emulsifies oil. It's one of the best grease cutting waters I have ever seen in my life. I mean, you have that, you're not going to need these grease cutting detergents. Some people even use this to wash their dishes, and other people use it to wash their clothes. I don't, to be honest with you, but I know a lot of people that do, and they're perfectly happy. Okay, now what I've done, I've put 11.5 water in this little thing of cherry tomatoes, and I put tap water in the other one, all right? And what I'm doing is letting these two waters just sit here, about the same amount of time. When I said this stuff will clean, it strips the insecticides, the pesticides, all of that stuff off of these tomatoes, and it does it really, really quickly. It does it with all of them. My leafy vegetables, I buy the bag salads, and I like the leafy greens. Those things, I soak them. You ought to see the colors that come into that water. It's like a rusty brown. Strawberries and fruits, all the same, all the same. Now, we pull the water off of these cherry tomatoes, and I'm going to pour the water off of the tap water cherry tomatoes. And let me see if I can get this here so you can see it. Just a small amount of cherry tomatoes, but can you see the difference in the color in these two waters? Look at that. Yeah, it's amazing. It just pulls all of that stuff right off of it. And got one more little test to you. I mean, this machine has more uses than anything that you've ever seen. The last one I'm going to show you is, I'm going to come back to my tap water. Remember when a little while ago I told you that the water has incredible cellular penetration value because the molecules are just so small. I can demonstrate that. All right. Now, in this glass, I've got a tea bag. In the first one, I'm dumping Kangen water. In the second one, I'm dumping tap water. In the third one, I'm dumping Kangen water. See what's happening here? In the fourth one, I'm dumping tap water. In the fifth one, I'm dumping Kangen water. In the sixth one, I'm dumping tap water. Take it all. And in the seventh, let's put a little Kangen water in there. All right, get my little white paper up here again. Kangen water, tap water. Kangen water, tap water. Kangen water, tap water, Kangen water. This water absorbs on the cellular level approximately 20 times greater than regular water does. It gets into the cells, every cell, every nook, cranny of your body. Not only does it hydrate, it pushes out toxins. It detoxes you. It pushes out all the waste. It penetrates the brain barrier. For athletes that are in rough contact sports, drinking this water not only neutralizes lactic acid and increases performance and stamina, it also acts as a shock absorber on the brain. It lets the body take more hits without causing that damage. You've got water in there that is cushioning it. Now, folks, that's the demonstration that I want to show you. And the machine that does all of this stuff, get this out of the way. Here is the Kangen water machine. It's manufactured by a company called Enagic, located in Japan, and it's manufactured in Osaka, Japan. This is the only water ionizer in the world. Number one, it's a medical grade unit. In Japan, this is a class 3 medical device. In the United States, we do not have enough tests that we put through to FDA to get those kinds of approvals yet. We're working on those. But in Japan, they've been using it since 1973. They've got plenty of studies. I study it by going to using Google Scholar, scholar.google.com. When you open up that page, it's like a Google page. Type in electrolyzed reduced water into the search bar, and any medical or scientific research paper that has ever been done will pop up. And when you type that in there, I know it's well over 20,000 studies come up. So anyway, the machine, if you look at it, try to do all of this stuff backwards. First has a very high-end filter. The water comes into the machine, goes through that filter. I even use a second filter. It's a new filter the company made. It's $70 for the filter, $50 for the filter and the stand, $50 for replacement filters. You have to change them about once every 10 months or so. And I run the water through that before I even run it through the machine. Now, the machine has, if we look here, it's got the on-off switch right there. It's got the Kangen water. You push this thing. Let me see if I can give you a live demonstration. All right, plugged it in.
Power on. Beauty water.
Okay, it's a beauty water. Now look here.
Kangen water 8.5.
Kangen water 8.5. Same button.
Kangen water 9.0.
Kangen water 9.0 on pH scale.
Kangen water 9.5.
Kangen water 9.5. That's what I drink.
Clean water.
Clean water. That's a water. If you're taking medications or you have babies and you're making baby formulas for the little bitty infants, you use the clean water. As soon as those infants get a couple months on them, start giving them the 8.5 to start out, and then slowly work them up. You're going to see babies that are going to be a lot healthier.
Beauty water.
The next one down is beauty water. This water is slightly acidic. It is a water that adheres to your skin, your hair. It makes one of the best moisturizers and skin toners that you've ever seen. And it also really does a good job on conditioning the hair. Also, it's great for cleaning glass and windows. Now, why? I have no idea, but it works. And then the last one is strong acidic water. That's the button you push to produce the hypochlorous acid. The hypochlorous acid will come out of the lower hose on that machine. When the mineral goes through this machine, it's separated. Acidic mineral and waste is separated from the alkaline mineral in the water. The acidic mineral and the contaminants, they will go down the drain. Now, when you push that acidic button, the acid water is going to come out of this. And the way that is made, on this side of the machine, there's a little tank, little bitty tank. Let's get this out of the way. It's about a pint, maybe. That little tank, see that? I can pop it out of there. Maybe I can pop it out of there. Oh, baby. All right, there you go. See, it's just that little tank. In that tank, if you look there, I've got in there salt water. Just salt water. Or it's a solution for, electrolysis solution for making hypochlorous acid. If you're not going to make hypochlorous acid, you don't ever need to put this tank in there. It doesn't make any difference. The water, the drinking water, the beauty water, and all that stuff will come out. But if you want to make that hypochlorous acid and make that real strong cleaning water, you want to put that little tank in there. I use this one probably as much as I use anything. So, folks, this is the Enagic Ionizer. If you want to get a little bit more information, you can go to www.hunterdeButts.com, and that will take you straight into one of the Enagic websites. You can click on any one of the products. Actually, what you do is you click on Buy Now. The next page comes up as a group of maps. Click on the United States. Then the next page will come up are all the products that are sold by Enagic. There's a spa for bathing. There's several different water machines. In this area, I would not go smaller than the SD501. And the reason, you remember how high the ORP level was in this water. The smaller units have a real difficult time converting it. SD501 is a good bet. The K8 is even better. But you can go in there and you can look at these machines, the specifications. My phone number is at the top of that page. It's just hunterdeButts.com, www.hunterdeButts.com. If you want to call me, my number is 703-728-7103, and my email, again, is hunterdeButts@gmail.com. That's HUNTERDEBUTTS@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.